Good morning. It's Monday morning. It's my first day back from staycation. So my first day back to work. Some things will be changing behind me. Hopefully it would all be changed before Friday. So when you guys come back, see me on Friday, I will have a new background. Jen just checked to make sure I'm good. You guys can hear me. Awesome. Wow. Whew. So my first day on staycation was interesting. So I am a creature of habit. I am. I'm a Virgo. I'm a little bit of a creature of habit. So I woke up that morning and I was so happy the night before because I was like, I don't have to get up early. I don't have to get on time or anything. So I came out with my glass, my glass from the previous night with water and my phone and my watch on, all that stuff. And I went to put it on my desk like I normally do. I normally put my phone down and then I put my water down and then I go make a mug of tea. So I put my stuff on my desk and I went, wait, I'm supposed to stay away from my computer because I'm notorious for, especially if I would have sat that day, I probably would have tried to work. And so I was like, well, shit, dang, what do I do? So I was like, kind of stood there in the living room, kind of like, so I grabbed my water cup and I grabbed my phone and I walked over to the couch and I sat them down. Yeah, I wandered around a little bit, but I sit them down. So the first day was interesting. It didn't take me long to find something to do. I watched some stuff and I did some knitting and things like that. So that was awesome. I completely redid the scarf that I had started because I was like, that pattern isn't really working out for me, so I want a different pattern. And Disney is wandering around like there's something going on. She just doesn't know what it is. So, um, when I got used to, okay, I'm not working this week, things got easier. Um, Surprisingly enough, I didn't do much housework. I think I swept once or twice. Um, I dusted a ceiling fan because I had to change the light bulb, and I was up there anyway. So I did laundry, of course, because I went and got some pieces for new wardrobe change. Oh yes, I bought a pair of earrings. They are little guillotines. Aren't they adorable? I'm not wearing them at the present moment because they so don't go with this outfit. But yes, I bought a pair of guillotine earrings. Um, there was a time when I was in college that I think Paris was celebrating some big milestone or something, and so shops were selling guillotine earrings, and I so wanted someone to go and get me a pair. So now I have a pair of guillotine earrings. Um, Not from Paris, but still. From a local seller. So I got to help a local business. We helped a lot of local business yesterday, didn't we? Uh, there's a store that does consignment work, takes in consignments. So we helped a lot of little sellers. So pretty awesome. Um, I bought plants yesterday because my front porch looked completely barren. It has a wooden chair, and that's it. And well, in a cement plaque that says normal people scare me, which I've had delivery people go, normal people scare me too. I'm like, uh, but that brought all the plants inside because I'm, afraid a freeze will pop up on us. And I didn't want to scramble to bring them in. It was like, go ahead and let's just bring them in for the winter. Not the ones behind me stay with me all the time. But Jen's Porthos is trying to take over the living room. It's doing it. It's taking over the living room. So I was like, I really want to get some plants that will, that can sit out on the porch in the colder weather. And so I got some ornamental kale. I got the green and white version, and I got the purple version, which is gorgeous. It's just so full and poofy. I will try to get some pictures of that and share that in the Discord. We have a little garden Discord section because some of us are plant. I'm a plant mama, and I need to take a picture of my bucket o mama plant. I am the mother of Goosefoot or arrow something arrow leaf or something. Oh my gosh, I have so much of that, which I got to give a clipping to a friend of mine. Um, she's like, I want some. I'm like, oh sure, I'll give you some. Sure, it's hard to kill, believe me. And then I have aloe everywhere as well. AJ, you are shaking the camera. No, no. No, I'm not talking. We're talking to the people. They're not going to be able to love your butt. No, they can't love your butt. Go on. Go on now. Go. AJ, go to Mama G. AJ. AJ, go. AJ, go. Nope. Go on. Come on. I know. If you saw the tail, whippet tail go by. Yeah. So let's see. Had some gin dates on my staycation. We went out and did some fun things. Did we try a new restaurant? No, we were going to. Yeah, we were going to, but I don't know. I don't know. Um, but we have another date today. She's got to go get an eye exam done, and I'm gonna look for a pair of jeans, and she's got to go put a linen. But my staycation was a great idea. Highly recommend it for entrepreneurs, especially authors, because anyone who works from home and works for themselves, we often overwork and we get burnout very easily. And so I highly recommend take some time. You could do it once a month, you could do it once a week, like I do once a week. I do self-care Sunday. I don't work on Sunday. I don't do chores on Sunday because I've done them the rest of the days of the week. I go do what I want to do. I take care of myself. I do my pills, and I just take care of myself. Um, Sometimes that means checking in with friends. Sometimes it means going on a date. But yeah, take a day of the week, make it your self care day. Take care of yourself. I highly recommend take a week off either once a month, or I'm doing once a quarter. My next one will probably be surgery induced. So I will probably be recovering for my next vacation. But that's okay. That's okay. I got to recover from it. I don't know how long recovery is going to be, but we're going to do the best we can. Having English breakfast tea this morning. And Jen made it for me. She's so sweet. I made my TBR list. That is on my Pinterest for the next year. I have a Pinterest board for 2025, and it has my TBR list in it. If you don't follow me on Pinterest, you should. I've got some really cool boards. Uh, I got boards for books. Yeah. Um, I've made my to be watched list because there are new shows coming out. I actually just started a new one yesterday. Oh, and one is about to end. Oh my gosh. When the Phone Rings is about to end. It will end this next weekend. It is on Netflix in America. I don't know if it's on Netflix in other countries. I know it is showing in Korea right now because it was uh there was a weekend where it didn't come out on Netflix because it didn't come out in Korea either because of the stuff happening in South Korea. uh, there's a lot going on with the president. The president got impeached, and then the interim president is getting impeached, and there's stuff going on over there. But it impacted this K drama, and everybody was like, "Wait, what? Why can't I watch it?" If you haven't seen it, I recommend watch it now. Now that most of the episodes are out, because you need to pay attention to stuff. It's a thriller in a way. You've got to figure out who the bad guys are, and then there's identities that you have to figure out as well. So it's like because some people are not portraying who they really are because they've been forced to be someone else. It's so intriguing. Such an intriguing storyline, and I highly recommend When the Phone Rings out of Korea. It is so good. The acting is awesome. Um, I love the twitches the bad guy has, but of course he was also nearly killed when he was a kid, so yeah, that would cause some brain damage, considering it was an attempted dream. So yeah, it's so interesting. Um, I don't want to give any more away. So go watch it. Go watch it. Sorry if you don't like subtitles, but I highly recommend it. Um, Lovely Runner won some awards and for the Asian shows, uh, their version of the awards ceremony for entertainment over there. Lovely Runner was an awesome show this year. It was so good. Heartbreaking. They are so good at heartbreaking. They will break your heart so fast, and then you pray they're going to put it back together because sometimes they haven't. I have fallen victim to this, and some of you might know that you're watching a show and you think, "Oh, this is going to be a romance," and then you get to the end, and it's not a romance. There's not a happy ending, and you're like, "Ooh." They take that chance. They take that chance that they're not going to pay you off. And wow. Yes, we knew he was going to die, Jen. It was a matter of how it was going to happen, what was happening from where you start the story to where you know he's going to die. But she just kept going, he's going to die. I'm like, that's not a spoiler, Jen. It's not a spoiler. Talking of spoilers. So on December 25th, we have a tradition, we call it Bookmas, where we pick a book to read, and we snuggle up with the puppies and we read. But we lounge in bed or on the couches or whatever and just read. We put something on the stove or in the crock pot, and low maintenance day. No drama. We have to make a couple of phone calls to family, say Merry Christmas to them. But the rest of it's for us, and we're just relaxed. Well, we added a tradition this year that we would watch a show based on a book because I hadn't watched the third Kenneth Branagh um, Poirot movie. You know, because Murder on the Orient Express, Death on the Nile, and then there's Haunting in Venice. I love Venice. I've always wanted to go. So I was like, oh, please save that. Don't watch that yet. I haven't seen that one. So it just fell that we were sitting there going, hey, want to watch? Because it is based on a book. And we were like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. Why not? So we put it on and we're watching. It, no, you didn't try to spoil yourself on that one, did you? No, she tried to spoil herself on Knives Out. We're watching Knives Out because I hadn't finished it. I had gotten to a certain point. I hadn't finished Knives Out. Well, I was going to watch A Haunting and then wanted me to save it, but I started Knives Out. Which was about the time almost the time I had stopped. I don't remember why I'd stopped. But so we watched Knives Out, and she's over there on her phone. It's like, what are you doing? You got to pay attention. It's a murder mystery. And she goes, I'm cheating. And I'm like, you can't cheat on a murder mystery. What? You're not supposed to cheat. You're supposed to figure it out. And yes, I know. She's the kind of person who will read the last page of a book before she buys it. All puppies are sniffing each other. AJ wants up on the couch, but Destiny apparently is in the way. Oh, she's very particular. And she is, as she's getting older, she's a little leery about making jumps and things. So. Okay, let's see. Let's get to, so long story short, take a vacation. My writer friends, take a vacation. All right, so we're going to get back to our Writer's Little Helper by James B. Smith Jr. I highly recommend this. So today there's a checklist. She's in her lap. You're not a lap puppy. You're 20 pounds too heavy. And bony. And bony. Very, very, very bony. Very bony. It's a whippet. So checklist today is minimum character elements in any story. I will try to go slowly. So if you want to make this checklist for yourself, you can. So start with, does my story have a truly heroic character? And is that character, multiple choice here, distinctive in voice and attitude, likable even if quirky, interesting in career or skills, honorable even if not saintly, flawed or vulnerable either psychologically or emotionally, able to connect with readers in matters of the human condition, capable of humor or irony, capable of fear but not enduring cowardice, physically appealing but not a perfect 10, alive at the end of the story. Next section, a heroic character's worthy goal quest, and is that goal or quest? Here's the checklist. Substantial in content, difficult to attain, generally legal or honorable, shared by potential readers, contested by any number of forces, especially ... And the next one, the heroic character's worthy adversary, and is that adversary ... Distinctive in voice or attitude, continually in competition with the heroic character, likable or sympathetic to some extent, interesting in career, crimes, or skills, wicked but not entirely demonic. I don't know why that's no. Flawed or vulnerable, either physically, mentally, or emotionally. Capable of humor or irony. I love irony. Powerful enough to crush the heroic character. Physically fascinating, even if repulsive. Defeated at the end of the story. Not always, I don't think, because, yeah. The next section, action and conflict involving the heroic character's quest with ... Suspense or substantial tension at every turn. All dialogue laced with conflict. A varied pace. Action either rising to a confrontation or falling from one. Utter absence of boring, static scenes. Vivid imagery rather than lifeless description. Singularly of central storyline. Subplots that support the central storyline. Narration carried by characters and not the author. Absence of philosophizing, philosophizing, sizing, preaching, or musing. Internal monologue. Or not monologue. Oh yeah. The next section, a perceived ending complete with ... A final titanic climactic struggle between characters at the story's end. The climax being the most powerful scene in the story because it is the last image your readers are going to have. A resolution that offers redemption to the heroic character. Recognition that every element in the story pointed to the end, making sure all your strings are tied at the end. Lessons learned for both characters and readers. So that was their little checklist there. And next time we'll be doing avoiding amateur mistakes, and that's a checklist as well. So if you haven't checked out the Writer's Little Helper by James B. Smith Jr., I highly recommend it. Nope. Stick that right there. So I hope that was interesting. I have a little checklist of things I do when I'm writing mystery and suspense. So it's like I make sure that certain questions are answered by certain points. And sometimes I will stop at the end of Act 2 and go back and check what questions do we have that we wrote down. Are some of those answered? Are there new questions? And making sure all of my lines are being braided, and so the reader can follow the clues to the inevitable end. So, because I write suspense and I write mystery. So, all right. So, I'm sorry I just popped my knuckles for anybody who can't stand that. I should pay more attention and not do that on video. Okay. Let me pull this up. We are on chapter 4. This is Steve's chapter. So if you want to sit back, grab your drink. I'm grab mine so I can keep my voice wet, my throat wet. So, blocked in my quest by my oldest buddy, I know he wouldn't do this to me unless it was important. As we drift away, I peer backward and watch Mallory chatting with some guests. I imagine passing my hands over her calves while she stands above me, her heels sinking into the heavy carpet. I pursue the line of her legs to the base of her glorious bottom. I'm sorry, man, but we need your experience as a journalist. Tony motions to his old SEAL team who has gathered around us. Elliot carries a blue folder in his long-figured hand with a smiling grin. He's chuckling at the timing of this conversation, fully aware of where I was going with Mallory. What can I help with? Best to get the ball rolling before I lose my window entirely. You remember the case we handled for Anna? Yeah, how could I forget? We connected some companies to sex trafficking ring, Elliot adds as he hands me a file folder. Some women we helped rescue are from Russia, Canada, and Alaska. Seattle is a hub for shipments traveling to Alaska. Russia's a boat ride away from here, and the Canadian border is around 100 miles off. The local port has to be their ingress, Nate includes, his mouth in a grim line. The girl we helped mentioned being taken from one large estate to another. These men are rich and don't fear anyone in their world. Money talks, Walt says, looking over at his daughter as if he fears they could snatch her before his eyes. They might have a similar setup to the group in North Texas. Be careful, the only reason we caught Emmanuel was because he was obsessed with Anna and demanding vengeance, Walt studies me. We hope that if you do a story on it, it'll help flush these guys out into the open. If you need support, I've an in with some individuals who can bring you information and protection if needed. The blue folder in my hands feels heavy with all the implications. I know it's a career-changing story. That part of my mind goes through lists of contacts and sources, thinking about news outlets I'd offer this to. All the human tragedy chokes me up, my hand resting against my sore chest. Sure enough, I'll see what I can dig up before the tour starts. Our band heads out later this month and will be gone for 3 months. We appreciate it. We want to take these guys down, and fast, Tony says. Nate turns and gazes at the entrance to the bar. A 5'9" woman with a heart-shaped face and short red hair that's thick and shiny walks in midnight blue dress encases her curves. I extract myself from them while they're distracted. I talk to Mallory, hoping to get us back on track. I capture Mallory's gaze from across the room. I stalk toward her, a beast on the prowl. The rising and falling of her chest speeds up with her increased breathing. The blue of her gaze, dark like storm-tossed sea, enraptures my attention, and the rest of the room falls away. Chemistry sparks between us, and people create an aisle. Have I lost you? I whisper along her neck. No. She raises her arms and grips my biceps as she shivers. Is your invitation still in? I need to be sure before I assume anything on my part. I have my key card right here. She holds up the card between two fingers in a feminine fatale gesture. Good. I kiss the pulse in her throat and almost groan at her indrawn breath. Lead the way. You'll follow? Her voice lifts into a question at the end. Anywhere you lead, darling. She giggles, takes my hand, and leads us from the bar, through the dancing and laughing throng to the banks of the elevators. As we wait, I bury my nose behind her ear and breathe in the floral scent of her shampoo and the unique element that's all her. The elevator's here, Steve, she says breathlessly. Once the doors close, we're pawing at each other, the sparks burning between us. We almost forget to punch the floor number in our haste to our lips and skin on skin contact. I lift her up and hold her with my hips against the side of the elevator. I can't stop tasting and nipping at her skin. The sound she makes drives me insane with need. And that's the end of that chapter. So next week, hopefully, health pending, we will read chapter 5. So thank you for coming along and listening to me read and chatting with me. Leave a comment in the section below about what you thought of the checklist, how you feel about taking time off and getting work-life balance. Yeah. So Take care, everybody, and I will see you this weekend for writing sprints. Talk to you later. Bye.